You're watching The Punchline with Kelly Pavlik and James Dominguez, and welcome.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah. What's going on?
How was your week?
Super, thanks for asking. How was your week, Justin?
It was all right.
Well,
where? Well, it was a pretty eventful weekend in boxing, I guess. You know what I mean? A lot of fights for I really didn't think about the fights this week. Did you?
No.
And it just kind of hit me. Oh shit, Brandon's fighting tonight. You know?
I caught Brandon's last night. I was tired as hell too. I was actually excited. I thought I had like a week without no boxing.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that is not so much excited because there wasn't boxing, but that I was tired of shit.
Just tired of needing a boxing break. You know?
And I was gonna go I was gonna go to bed fairly early, and boom, fights out tonight.
Yeah, Jeffrey said we listeners demand the Vikings in clinicals right now, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's in love, so.
He's in love and got clinicals.
He's in love and got clinicals, so I guess we'll get him back when he's ready. Come back. How you doing, Sergio? What's up, Brian?
What's up, Chris? We got Brandon. I love the show. I've been binge watching it since I found out about it. Once the Joe Rogan podcast. I'm a huge fan of you guys. Can't wait for the fight companion shows.
That's
Thanks,
awesome.
Brandon.
Thank you so much. Donovan said, how much leverage does a fighter have with his promoter? For example, if Loma was like, I want to fight this guy. I want to fight next. Make it happen. Is there anything holding back from a fight being signed? This question is reference to Mikey saying Aaron won't allow Lomachenko to fight him. I can answer that, but let Kelly answer the fighting leverage. He would know better than I would on champions having leverage.
They got leverage, absolutely. But if there's a animosity or if there's a little beef going on between camps and promoters and other promotional companies involved, it's really hard for that fight to get made.
Yeah.
And it don't really matter, you know, and I was talking about this before on a totally different thing, but promoters are going to make money no matter what, and they're going to try to make money no matter what. There's other fights out there for Loma, there are other big fights, but when it comes to a certain point, though, that fight will eventually be made.
Yes. It
will, because the demand is going to be too high, and there's going to be a lot of money behind it, and believe me, the promoter will give in, and they'll make it happen, but for the most part, it comes down to the guys up top.
Well, we've been talking about this too for a couple of years now, hasn't it? The reason why this fight hasn't been made it's been promoter issues. Mikey and Top Rank had some bad blood. They had that lawsuit, and $3 million is a lot of money and creates a lot of bad blood. And you know, but I think there's going to be a time when that there's going to be a bigger call for that fight than bad blood. They're going to have to do that fight, and it's all depending. We don't know.
Promoters.
Yes, we don't know what's going to happen with Lomachenko's next few fights. We don't know how Mikey's going to look against Errol Spence. Will there be the same need for that fight later on? I mean, Julie says, nice haircut, James. Thank you, Julie. Hey, she's a movie star. She's on the new Billy the Kid movie.
Oh, yeah?
Julie is, yeah.
Hell yeah.
She was one of my classmates back in the day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey, Ashley. Esteban says, what's good, familia? Sergio says, I thought fighters have more power than promoters led to believe. Or react me if I'm wrong, Kelly and James. Arab and Don hate each other and the bouts were made. I don't know, Kelly. What do you think?
Well, if there's a demand for the fight, the promoters are still going to put it on. They'll push everything aside because you're talking money, and that's all they care about. But if the money's not going to be big enough for them, it all depends. Okay, it's a beef, and they have control of what goes on with the fighters. But if there's a big enough demand for the fight and there's enough money to be made, they will take it. But for the most part, they're going to try to stand their ground and show who's boss. So that's what it comes.
You know, last week we went and did and taught we taught some boxing to some of the local MMA fighters last week, and we were talking about that in the car. And we said, and you said it yourself, and we did. Promoters would sell their mothers to make money. They don't give a fuck. And eventually, their bad blood's gonna be put aside when you have a $50 million fight on the line.
That's what we were talking, because we were talking about, like, I hear a lot, like, oh, this guy, if he would have had a manager, he would have been a world champion. If he would have had this, and what we were talking about was, if you got that much chance of winning a world title, a promoter is going to sign you. You know how many thousands of times people are sending this video, hey, check this guy out, check this guy out, check this guy out. Believe me. So, yeah, they want to make money.
Yeah, you hear so much of that bullshit. They're like, my fighter would have been great if he had better management. You know, the fighter I trained. No, if your fighter's good, people will see it. It's like having a star football player in a small school. You know what? Somebody will see it. And word's going to get around.
Well, I seen a fight where a guy, a gold medalist, had his pro debut.
Yeah.
Fought a guy who was, you know, if he would have had a manager, he could have been a world champion. But he got destroyed.
Yeah, if my sister had a dick, she'd be my brother.
Yeah, it wasn't even competitive.
Right? But that's the thing. We've heard that around even on, you know, and everything. Well, if this fighter had a good manager and a good match, no. Talent tells. Always in boxing. Talent's gonna take you a lot of the ways, and after your talent, a good team will take you the rest.
I'm gonna try to catch up on some of these real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Chris Hardy says, James, can we keep it a little more politically correct this week?
Who said that?
Chris Hardy.
Why?
I don't know, man. Last week, I don't know. I think they were the one last week.
Oh, you mean I said why?
I don't know. We'll find out. He'll reply back. Michael Donahue says, "Is the goal done?"
They'll find a reason to sink a fight at him. You know what though? If you guys want politically correct, Box Stats is always a good show. Mm-hmm. And if you want, you know, I mean, Paulie Malignaggi makes a great politically correct show.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, there's other shows out there. We're not scripted. We don't write down. We have an overview of what we talk about. We're not scripted. We're unedited. We're unscripted. Sometimes I say stupid shit. Most of the time I do, but that's just part of the show.
Kevin from Chicago. Kelly, which fighters were scarier to you? Knockout, heavy punchers, or tacticians? Heavy punchers. Nobody likes to fight a heavy puncher. I don't care if anybody says, "Oh, tacticians, they're that's bullshit." Swerve.
Jeff has a good question, Kelly. You guys think Teofimo Lopez is ready for Loma just yet? I'm getting mixed opinion, but I think he's ready now. It's a good fight now. Another year or so with Loma aging, fighting above his peak weight, I see a torch passing fight from a year or so now. Thoughts?
No, I think he's another two or three fights away. I mean, can he fight him? Yeah, absolutely.
Anybody, I could fight Loma. Yeah. That doesn't mean I'm going to win.
And Loma did fight, you know, for a world title in the second pro fight, but that's because Loma is Loma. But again, I'm a huge fan. Listen, I'm a huge fan of Teofimo.
I like him.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's got the packages, man, to be a great fighter.
People talk shit about him, and they talk shit about his dad. But when you meet those guys without the camera, they're some of the nicest people in the world. And I think we spent 8 hours with them, didn't we?
Yeah, and he could fight. I mean, you cannot deny that. But again, a little too soon wanting to jump in with Lomachenko. I don't think it has anything to do with skill or that. Right now, I think the experience is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
So, because there's things that Teofimo got that could make up for the skill difference. You know what I mean? Power, a certain punch could change the fight and change the way another person fights.
Yes.
But I think right now the experience part too, though. So,
Maurice Hooker versus Josh Taylor. What do you say? Or either of those progress? I don't think either one of them are in Progrese's class yet. I like Josh Taylor. He's a good up-and-coming fighter, a good fighter. Maurice Hooker is definitely great. I think one of the best fighters out of Texas, actually, Maurice Hooker. I just think Rios Progrese is on another level right now. I think he might be the best 140 in the world.
Could be.
Why doesn't Teofimo fight Tank? Well, one's 130 and the other one's 135, moving to 40.
Going to 40. Damon says, well, I think right now Tank's going to be protected from how it sounds that what Floyd wants to do with him.
Yeah.
So
if you want great fights, don't go to the money team. I mean, I'm just saying, money team doesn't put out great fights.
I think Floyd's trying to pull a little top rank, but not as good. Damon goes, Kelly, James, what about Mikey saying Lomachenko been fighting smaller men? Not getting credit for the opponents he faced due to being smaller men. He needs to fight bigger men for the challenge.
I think Lomachenko's fought great competition. I mean, in that weight division, I mean, Rigondeaux came up for that fight, and Rigondeaux was supposed to win that fight. Everybody was saying, right, Rigondeaux was gonna dog walk Lomachenko, and it doesn't matter. No matter who somebody fights, there's always gonna be somebody that complains.
I think if Lomachenko lost to Crawford in the second pro fight and then beat Crawford and Spence every fight after that people will still say that Lomachenko sucks and that he ain't no good, and he fights guys off the street corner. So he's never going to win.
You know,
and it goes with Mikey Garcia. Mikey beats Spence.
He's not going to get the credit. Spence was overrated. That's what it'll be. Spence was overrated and not good at all. And Mikey's going to lose his next fight for sure.
Yep.
It's like this. He's going to lose the next one. He didn't lose a Broner.
You get fighters that get jock riders, and you get fighters that can't do anything right. Yes, Mikey is the shit. He's the shit.
You know what though? It's funny because everybody's saying Mikey says he sees something. I'm gonna tell you what Mikey sees. I'm gonna just tell you what it is. Mikey sees dollar signs. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Everybody says Mikey sees something we don't. Let me tell you what. There's some great boxing.
Yeah, Mikey does see something we don't.
Dollar signs.
Yeah, about like $10 million.
Exactly, about $10 million. That's true. People are like buying into this. Oh, Mikey sees something we don't. There's some great boxing minds out there, greater than ours, that see it, that don't see it. But I'm gonna tell you what, it's dollar signs. There's things that Errol Spence does. Well, let's be honest, that he shouldn't do, and there's things that Mikey shouldn't do in the ring. I think we've talked about this too. I think Errol Spence, he doesn't move his head. He does not move his head, and he's stagnant. I mean, that is something that he should work on, a little more in the ring. And also, the experience factor is huge in this.
But I don't know if that's going to make, maybe for the points in this fight, not moving ahead.
Yeah.
But, he didn't move his head against big welterweights. I don't know.
Well, I'm saying, and the experience thing.
Mikey's confident. Mikey wants the big fights because Mikey's confident. It's not that he sees something in Spence. I don't think, like we said, it's the money.
Dollar signs, man.
Dollar signs. Because Mikey's a confident fighter, no matter what.
You don't get on that pound for pound list, not be. But also, on the same token, so people say, hey, James only supports Mexican fighters, which is not the case. I'm racist. Mikey Garcia does not go to the fucking body. He does not go to the body at all. He does not, right? Crawford is my pound.
You know what? And now we're going to get into that because I have... Especially with the next fight that they're talking about for Lomachenko, I got to kind of push Lomachenko back. Unfortunately, he just has not been, it's not his fault. He has not been fighting the guys, and you got fights like Mikey, you got guys like Crawford fighting relevant people, you know what I mean, and moving up a weight class to do it. So I got Crawford jumped ahead of Lomachenko. I don't know. Spence,
But I do. I think Mikey doesn't go to the body. I think he ignores the body, and then he'd make a lot of fights easier. I also think that Mikey stays on the inside too long and admires his work. I think that's something you got to do. You got to take away those angles. Yeah.
Emilio goes, "What's up? Is the goal past this time, or did Eubanks improve with the new trainer from the Mayweather gym?"
There's some.
You can answer that one a little better.
What is it?
What's up, guys? Is the goal past this time, or did Eubanks improve with the new trainer from the Mayweather gym?
It may have been both. I've never been real big on Eubanks Jr. I've never been big on him, and he had a bad loss, but it could be a little both, I think.
Yeah. Chris Hardy goes, "Kelly, you had the power. Thanks, homie." I want to answer this one though. Yeah. SY managers have fiduciary duty to the fighter. Promoters don't. Translation: managers have to care. Promoters will screw you if they can. Enjoy the show. Please keep it politically incorrect. All right, SY. Unfortunately, I have to disagree. A manager could get in there and negotiate and will and deal, and it depends on what kind of manager you're talking about. It has to be a manager that's been inside the sport, inside boxing, and work with top people at top of the game. If not, no. A manager really don't. Yes, they could have a say-so, and they could relate back to me what's going on and what they feel. But at the end of the day, a promoter, especially when it comes down to a big fight, they have the final say. They are the boss. Yeah. And there's nothing you can do about it. And it's just not boxing. It's an everyday job.
And nowadays, the promoters sometimes don't have the final say anymore. Now it's the networks that have power over the promoters. Showtime, even let's say it, Showtime and ESPN is so huge over. They kind of dictate because they're paying they're paying the salaries now.
But you got to look at it this way. They're paying the salaries, but that's because the numbers are coming in from the promoters putting these fighters on.
True.
And a promoter, and if you get another network that hears that you got a beef going on, they'll be the first one to say, "Hey, why don't you just come to us? We'll give you this fight package deal."
That's what Eddie Hearn did. He made sure he took advantage of some of those issues. Right. Kelly, do you talk to Jermaine Taylor? Dylan wants to know.
No, I do not.
I wish him the best, though.
Yes, we do.
Oh, Perry Ochoa says, is there always an exception to the rule? Can you recall a fighter who could have been maybe got bigger fights with maybe better promotion or management?
Yeah.
Or does real talent always rise to the top? Paul Spadafora, definitely. He was with Mike Akery, wasn't he?
Probably Angel Manfredi. Could have got a couple. Well, yeah, Mayweather, but I think he was in line to have a couple bigger fights.
Angel was with Main Events. Yeah. And that's true.
That could come down to the fighter also, though. I mean, it depends.
Yeah.
You're given an opportunity, and if you don't take that opportunity and do something with it, you don't have it there no more in boxing.
Be true. Slavin said, what did you think of Joe Joyce? Can he be a real threat to Joshua Wilder? I think anybody in the heavyweight division that's reasonably good is a threat to each other. Nobody in the heavyweight division, I feel. Kelly might disagree, I don't know. But nobody I feel in the heavyweight division is head and shoulders above anybody right now. It's so close.
Don't get me wrong. Heavyweight division is doing pretty good right now.
Oh, no, but I just don't think the talent.
That's comparing it to the last 5 years. Yeah. But if you compare it to how it used to be, no, it's not really competitive right now. Besides the top 3 guys.
Yeah, Rocco Gino Vidala says, hey guys, greetings from Youngstown.
Tell him I said, what's up? Rocco's a good guy.
Yes, he is.
Damon says, guys, did Mikey quit against Salido? Can you explain why people are saying Mikey quit versus Salido after 8 rounds?
Because he needs something to bitch about.
Because Mikey's not good enough, as like I said before, Damon.
Hey,
notice everybody busts him, everybody comes down on him. He was getting headbutted. He was winning the fight.
He knocked him down 6 times. How many knockdowns you need to put on a man?
Exactly. The fight should have been stopped. Hey, listen, if I'm beating a guy up that bad and I'm ahead and I have a chance to win in the fight, but if they stop it because I'm cut and I keep getting headbutted.
His nose is broke.
Yeah. And the guy keeps doing that. He keeps using his head as a weapon. I'm going to quit the fight and take the victory.
Take the money, yeah.
Especially that early on in his career. I mean, come on.
You know what's funny though? People. We've said it before. We've said it 100 times, Kelly. Mikey's main goal is to get rich. Mikey's never been that guy that's like, hey, you know what? Boxing's my life. But Mikey wants to make what he can out of the fight and get out of the game.
Yep. And Mikey's the same way as I was, man. Yep. I don't care what anybody says. Dude, I wanted to be set and I wanted to finish early. I always said that from the beginning of my career. I'll even go back one day and get the news cameras when I was in the amateur seeing it.
Slavin says, how did Mikey go fast from 126 to 140? 5 years is not really fast from 126 to 140. And he's only done 140 once or twice. And he's growing. His body was growing at that time. He was young at 23, 24. Your body's growing. And Mikey's a big guy for his size.
Chris Hardy goes, Eubank definitely looked more patient on Saturday night. He feinted and set up his shots so much better than he has ever done. DeGaulle just didn't have the power to keep him off.
Yeah.
I know, and I know, guys, we're talking about the Eubank, but that fight to me, I kind of caught glimpses of it. I didn't care too much.
Yes.
Let's see real quick. Joe Joyce has no punch.
Yes.
Which past fight do you guys think took the most out of Bam Bam mentally and physically?
I think the Alvarado fights may have done that. Sometimes in those kind of fights, even Brandon has said that too.
He took punishment in a lot of his fights.
In a lot, not just the way he fights. Brandon's going to give you what he gets, you know. And one thing I can say about Brandon Rios too is nobody ever left a fight saying they got robbed in a Brandon fight. No one ever said, "Hey, you know what? I wasted my money."
Yeah.
Brandon fucking left it all in the ring. He left everything in the ring. Getting to that though, I think I actually had Brandon winning 115, 113. But I will say this. Soto, if it was the other way around, I would have not had any complaints on that score. You had Soto 15-113.
I did, but I also could have seen where Brandon was up 115-113, or definitely a draw.
Yeah. Also, too, though, before the fight started, I thought Soto was going to win. You remember that? Mm-hmm. We thought Brandon, and I was like, because I don't want people to say, hey, James is just being because it's Brandon
Rios.
Well, I picked Soto in the beginning. I said Soto was going to win. But I think that Brandon, I thought, I had trouble reconciling that Soto was winning rounds with the last 10 seconds of every round. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it was a smart fucking veteran move. Don't get me wrong. That's a smart veteran move to do that.
Damon says, for the record, I understand why Mikey quit. He was beating the dog shit out of Salido. DeGaulle looked clumsy. Kelly, have you heard of boxing ego?
Yes.
I think I have.
Yeah, it's a page. They have good stuff. They have good video footage and stuff.
All right. What do you think of Ellie's setback saying Rios won?
I agree.
Fair. That's
fair.
Definitely a fair.
Ellie had the same score I did.
Ellie's another one that takes fucking beatings.
I'll tell you what, man. People talk a lot of shit about Ellie Seckbach, but I'll tell you what, that dude, nobody works harder. Nobody in media works harder than Ellie Seckbach. We've known him for a long time. We've been around him. This dude doesn't even eat, does he? He don't sleep.
20, what do you say? 17 hours a day.
20 hours a day 20, he works. Yeah. And man, I love Ellie's done so much for us to help us out.
Well, I love Ellie. Derek goes, dude, we record our podcast in Houston Saturday mornings. My national champ had his pro debut last night in Beaumont, and Sunday evening is the only time I have to edit them. Then your guy's reminder pops up. Well, thanks, Derek, man. We appreciate you tuning in.
Thank you,
and
Derek.
Here I am. So he's bypassing editing his fighters stuff right now to watch the show. Well, that's pretty cool.
If there's anything we can do to help you, Derek, or anything you need from us, let us know.
Yeah, stay in touch with us.
Rocco says, ask Kelly how he went from 160 to 240. These boxers are dieting machines to cut weight. Kelly did it for years. Obviously, his natural weight was much heavier. Yeah. Rocco's right.
Well, plus, being 37 years old now, too, though, it's... No, you jump up.
Slavin's getting mad. He said he didn't fight at 240. Slavin, I think what Rocco's trying to say is this: when you box, you walk around. Most people walk naturally 25, 30 pounds more than they fight. Most people. I'm not saying, because when they do retire, their body's going to what they want to be. And Mikey's body was already at 126. He was 155, 153 is what I'm saying, and what Rocco's saying. So when he was killing himself to make 26, right before he fought Wanma, he was throwing up I was there. He was throwing up in a cooler trying to make weight.
That makes me jealous because he has something to throw up.
Yeah, he had something to throw up, but he was throwing up in a cooler. And I think
my Martinez fight, I'm like,
he came in at 128. He couldn't make 26. He actually took the fine and moved to 30 after that.
Yeah, I would have been puking out my organs. SY goes, Mikey knocked Salido down like 5 times and winning easy. Salido is a tough but very dirty fighter. Loma got his PhD after fighting Salido and getting low blow left and right.
Yeah.
Thoughts? Agree with you.
Agreed.
100%.
Agreed. Brian Wan, our backup host, says, speaking of Truax who beat DeGale, he's booked against Peter Quillen in April in his home city. You know what? I don't know. I've never been big on Quillen. Quillen's just not the hardest worker in the sport.
None of them guys really do anything for me.
Sergio says Cuban King Kong Ortiz is the most avoided in the heavyweights. I don't know about that. I don't know, Sergio. I'm not saying he's the most avoided.
I think he's one of the most dangerous.
He's dangerous. I don't think he's avoided though. He's 47 years old. He says they say he's 40. No, that motherfucker's old, man.
Yeah. He got his silver sneakers.
That dude has silver sneakers just coming. He has a little bus that takes him and ramp and brings him to the gym. Yeah. Max says, what does Triple G have to gain in a third fight with Canelo? Money.
And actually, if anybody benefits from it, it is Triple G because his career is about over with his age. And as I was saying before, and James agrees, this third fight it's going to take a lot out of both of them. The first two, we still don't know how much the first 2 fights took out of Canelo. I think if it benefits anybody right now, it's Triple G because he's going to retire soon anyway, so why not get one more big major payday?
Yes. Perry Ochoa says, should Bam Bam fight again? I don't think so. I would like to see him move on with his career. I think Brandon would be a great trainer. He has a great personality, and I think he'd be good for those next,
Julian Slowwater Banks. I'm here. The reminder option is kind of screw you on YouTube for me. Eubanks Jr. looked like he has took leaps and bounds since his run-in against Groves. He beat DeGaulle up.
I can see that. I thought the fight was sloppy from both sides, but yeah, I agree. Slavin Slip, her 6'6", a very good boxer puncher. You know what, Slavin? I'll be honest, I have not seen him at all. I couldn't even answer that. I'm gonna take your word for it, but I'll keep my eye out for him. David McNally says, Kelly, when are you going to decide if you're going to fight again? If so, at cruiserweight?
Yeah, cruiserweight. But we got time, guys. I mean, well, obviously not too long, but for the most part, probably 3 months. It's a process, especially there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Yeah,
I gotta be realistic with the age, how many years I've been out. Just everything. It's a lot to it. But Andrew Hillburner goes, I think he's saying King Kong.
Yeah,
King Kong would put up a hell of a fight against AJ.
Yeah,
I think so. Definitely, I think it actually could. Probably do what he did against Wilder.
Be knocked out.
Well, not while you drop, but you drop
Yeah,
Wilder.
I know what you mean. Yeah,
I think if he drops Joshua, I think it'll be easier dropping Joshua first of all than it was Wilder.
Yeah,
and I think the fight would be over.
I think a little bit less power there. Sergio said, I scored the bout 115, 113 Soto. I can't argue with that, Sergio. I scored at 15-13 for Brandon, but like I've said before, if it was 115, 113 Soto, I wouldn't argue. Or a draw, I would never argue with. But 118, 110 is fucking ludicrous.
Yeah.
119, 109 is ludicrous. That's saying that Brandon didn't get one round.
Yeah, that's horrible. Or he got one round.
He got one round.
Chris Hardy, looks like Dylan White has screwed himself not taking the AJ fight. Looks like Fury is going to fight a stiff and Wilder is fighting Brazil.
Dominic Brazil's a good fighter. I like Dominic.
Yeah.
He pulled a Sugar Ray versus Hagler. Will the top 3 heavyweights being signed to 3 separate promoters network stop big fights from getting made and hurt the heavyweight division? I don't think so, Darren. I think a lot of these promoters are working together more often. You're seeing it more and more. I think if there's fighters not made, it's because it's personal beefs between the fighter and the promoter, not the promotion companies.
That's pretty much what it's coming down to, because if the fight is big enough to bring a lot of money in, they're going to do it.
Dylan says, what fighter trains the hardest right now? I say Errol Spence is the hardest worker in boxing.
Harder, more than Lomachenko. I know, like you say Lomachenko, but harder than Lomachenko?
Yes. Yes.
Mikey works pretty damn hard.
Yeah, but it's different. I think Errol's just one of those guys that's 7 days a week, just like just like Floyd did, you know.
Probably.
His diet's always clean. He never changed. Nothing ever. Oh, he got a little with it, but you know, that's just hearsay. You know what I mean? I wasn't there to see it, but you know. But
All right.
Esteban has a good question for you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Was there ever a training, or both of us, but was there ever a training method that you were introduced to and thought, there is no way this can help me, but it did help tremendously? By the way, James, thank you for the gloves, hat, and shirt. Anytime, bro. Was there anything training that they gave you that you didn't think much about it, but it really did help?
Yeah, yoga. Because at the time, 2006 and 2007,
yep.
Yoga, man, why would a boxer do yoga?
Yep.
I didn't know anything. I'm talking about real yoga when I was in shape. Yeah. Not the Viking, not Viking Herms yoga.
You know what helped me? One of my boxing coaches was a youth basketball coach, and he had me play basketball one year. Basketball's not my sport, but I played that year. I was in so good condition. Yeah. I was conditioned, and I really, I was used to playing like half court pickup games. I never played full court. And I was like, geez, I'm in shape.
Well, talking about training, when I would do my 7 hours a day, I could put my training program up there with anybody's.
But you don't fight no more.
But I used to play basketball at night, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you're training all day long and you're doing the same shit, you're running, you're going to the boxing gym, you're going to the Ironman warehouse and doing that workout. It gets fucking tiring, and it's the same repetitious program that you're doing. Yeah. So what we would do kind of for like a calorie burner and a little cardio workout and make it enjoyable, we'll go play a couple pickup games of basketball at the YMCA, and you're getting a cross training. Yeah. So you're working on your athleticism. Yeah, you're burning a shitload of calories, but you don't care because you're having fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember going out catching passes. I'd run out and have somebody throw passes to me. Slavin says, Vostik or Kovalev, who wins? I got Vostik.
Yes, who?
Vostik versus Kovalev.
Ooh.
I got Vostik, man.
Yeah, if I had a bet on the fight, I would go with Vostik, because Kovalev's too unpredictable, in my opinion. I don't know which one's going to come. Damon goes, Kelly James, what would you advise Bam Bam to do moving forward with his career?
I would if it was me, I would tell Brandon, I would sit Brandon down and say, Brandon, you had a great career. You're a 2-time world champion. You have nothing else to prove. You have money in the bank. You could be an asset teaching the next generation of fighters. You know what I mean? Because some of the things now listen, I know a lot of people, they talk ignorant as shit and say, oh, Brandon was a punching bag. Let me tell you what, Brandon was one of the best inside fighters I've ever seen. I'm talking about young Brandon. You couldn't hit him solid on the inside. Now mid-range and outside, yeah, you got a little hit, but on the inside, he was awesome. So I don't know. I think he would be a great trainer. People connect to Brandon.
Paul Mills goes, is it true that Earl is a boozer?
I don't know. I've heard it, but like I said, you know.
The guy goes out, everybody, and not being mean, but everybody that's on here now, right next door to my gym is a bar that's filled up every night of the week. All these people could go and drink their weekly paychecks away, and nobody gives a fuck. And you got a guy making millions of dollars with a bunch of diamonds and gold around his waist with world title belts. And he goes out and he gets on camera one time having fun because he just got done getting paid a couple $1 million. And now he's a boozer. And a couple little rumors go around. It's fucked up. If I was Earl Spence, I'd go drink a 40 on his after the next interview.
Mike Martinez says, how you feel about Sergey? Kovalev, Lipinets?
Yeah, which one?
Which one? I'm assuming Kovalev. Go ahead, you can talk. I'll bring up what I think about Kovalev, but I've already brought my.
Kovalev, I think he's a dangerous fighter still. I think of Kovalev, there's another one that if he kept the same training regimen as he did his last fight, obviously, I think he's very hard to beat and dangerous. He is. I mean, for even when he's tired and out of shape, he still is winning fights and makes them tough. He's tough. He's a hard one to bet against. But
speaking of Sergey Kovalev, Roger Romo's on my family and best friends. And
what's up, Roger?
And I'm one of the best up and coming trainers right now in the world. I think he is, and he also trained Sergey Kovalev. So I think Roger would have more of an insight on Kovalev than the rest of us. As much as you know, Kovalev's a fighter. I think Kovalev is an up and down fighter. I think you'll see great things out of him, and then maybe he's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. One fight you'll see him shit, and the next fight you'll see him do good. You know what I mean? He's kind of like Adrian Broner. But the thing is, Kovalev as a person, not a fan. I've seen Kovalev. I've known Kovalev quite a while, and I've seen some of the shitty things he's done, and I'm not going to get into it, but. I hope the best, but I'm going to go with Vostik.
Chris Hardy goes, what time did you do your morning run, Kelly? I despise the morning. I would rather run at 10 a.m. than train later personally. Chris, I agree with you. I don't believe that you have to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go run. I don't believe you have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go run. Some people, and it's true, some people are not morning people. When I would go run early in the morning, it would ruin my day because every one of my runs were hard. And if my body wasn't moving yet and wasn't ready to go do that, it kind of screwed me. Now, when I would go run at 9 o'clock, then I was able to go, the rest of the day, and I would train like crazy. I want what's ever best for my fight. I want to get the best out of my fighter. So that means if my fighter is more comfortable running at 10 o'clock in the morning, and I know that I'm going to get a solid 3-mile run out of him, and probably his fastest time, then that's what I want. And then when he comes to the gym, I know I'm going to get the best out of him.
Yeah.
That shit is for the fucking birds. It does not make any difference. Because your guy runs at 4 o'clock in the morning does not mean he's going to got an advantage in a fight over your guy that runs at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I don't. It says, Furman says, if you fight, please have Robert Garcia train you. Well, Robert's trained you before. It's not new. It's not new to have him train you. Darren says, what do you guys make of Canelo saying he could move to 175 to fight Kovalev? Why not? Okay, why not?
I mean,
you know what? Canelo's chasing greatness.
It is, but there's going to be a point though.
There's a point you can't go
where you're going to bite off more than you can chew.
I don't think Kovalev's that guy though to make him bite off more than he could chew.
We don't know. You get caught.
I think Bivol is.
There's a difference getting caught by a hard puncher at 175 than there is getting caught by a hard puncher at 160.
I think getting caught by Bivol and being caught by Vostik is different than being caught by. You know what I mean?
Kovalev is harder than him.
He does. I don't think Kovalev is harder than Bivol.
Kevin goes. Kevin from Chicago. Too many belts in boxing. Interim, Commonwealth, Intercontinental, blah, 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 blah. Well, Kev, I mean, it's a good way to get the guys ranked. And it's a money thing. It's been going on in boxing. Not so much the belt, having all the belts, but just different ways to make money. Yeah. I think you have to have some of them to get certain fighters into the rankings and into the top 10 and to be in contention for some of these other title alphabets. But I don't know, man. Why not give some of these guys trophies? They got trophies in every other sport.
Kelly, Philip Mitchell says, are you lifting or have you ever lifted? Pause to laugh. That's all we fucking do. It's just right. That's all we fucking do, man.
Well, rumor is I'm on steroids now, too.
I am, too. Thank you. Thank you for the hookup. Yeah, but that's all we fucking do.
No, I'm lifting, man. I'm cutting back a little bit, and I got some shoulder aches, but doing a little more flexibility stuff.
Joey Mazzaoka said, I think you make your decision on my radio show. Remember my dad had you on when you were 12. I think Big Mike Safaldi told my dad to bring you on.
Who is it?
Joe's.
I think you make. I have no idea, Joey. It may have been. That's so long ago.
That's a long time ago.
Making a decision, I'm going to make it on this show, my man.
Sergio said, James, when you fought, what was the hardest aspect of the fight? Training, sparring, nutrition of the fight? It was nutrition, man. It was eating. I was an asshole when I ate. I'll be honest. I mean, I fought 139. I walk around at 165. You know what I mean?
Food is good.
Food, man. And growing up in a Mexican family, you eat. And but sparring was just part of the deal. You don't think anything hard about it because that's part of what you do. Training was enjoyable. I think nutrition was the hardest because I used to see everybody eat fucking good food every day, and I'm eating shredded lettuce with vinegar and grilled chicken and fish. I wasn't even a
sweet tooth eater, and there'd be something in the fridge, and I would see it at that time when I was fighting.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I was out of training, you could go, hey, Kelly, you want a piece of cake? Nah. But I'd be in training. It could be like I hate caramel, and it could have been like something in there, and if it had sugar, and all of a sudden I craved it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's because your body was wanting it because of the hard work you were putting up.
Yeah.
But like I would see like tacos and burritos and even pizza, and you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And then you couldn't, or Alfredo. And I was just like, "Fuck!" And then I see my godmother. She's making
Italian Village Alfredo. It's not that bad.
It's good. I want to get and I see my godmother with these shredded lettuce. You know that look they would shred it with that thing.
Yeah.
And she shred it, and then she put vinaigrette all over it, like the not fat vinaigrette, the one with the real thin. It was like vinegar almost.
Balsamic.
Yeah, balsamic. She'd put that on there and mix it, and that was it. Everybody's eating good. I'm like this. Because I was trying to make 39.
Balsamic was. I eat the balsamic too.
But. And I had a trainer who was not very who was stuck in the old ways. I needed to be 39. Well, my body was saying you need to be 47.
Yep.
You know, so
Q box and no Victor Ortiz fight for Rios. Probably not, or it might be a going out fight. SY says Vostik or B-ball. That's a fight.
I got
B-ball.
I don't know, man. I like B-ball in it.
That's a good one. B-ball.
Slava says, do you guys know Angel Manfredi? Any of you? He was an underrated fighter. I actually do know Angel. We both do. Angel's actually stayed at my house for a couple weeks before when I lived in Columbus. He come and stayed. Angel's a good guy. Angel, I don't think Angel was underrated. I think Angel was right where Angel should be. You know what I mean? Yeah. Angel never won a world title. He won minor titles, the UBF, the IBC, the IBO, you know what I mean? USBA. He was that fighter, so I don't think he was underrated.
Ricky goes, still going to Italian Village.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Of course.
What the hell?
Sergio said, it's not like Spencer Storni 8-ball and fucking whores with Bobby Brown. He probably is fucking whores because that's what I would do if I had $2 or $3 million in the bank.
Hey, we got a good one. Lazy Fat Feral Cat says, who wins at 135, guys? 2012 Broner or 2019 Lomachenko? I got Broner. He walks through Loma's punches.
No. I got Lomachenko, but...
Yeah, I got Lomachenko too. Kevin from Chicago. My opinion, Tyson Fury, Devinchenko, Korobov, and Triple G all won their fights.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough.
Brian says, right, just like Robert Kraft. As the meme floating around, you try jerking off with 6 Super Bowl rings. But just because the guy is a billionaire, he's not allowed to help out a single mom and get his rocks off. People are always quick to judge those with money.
Very true. Very true.
You know what, though? Brian's right. You know what? I said the same thing. If I was an old billionaire, I'd have a harem. I'd just have a house with just whores in it. A whorehouse.
Why not?
I'd be the Peter Baelish. I'd be the Peter Baelish of the new world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And he wasn't. I'm telling you right now, he was not involved in that trafficking part.
No.
He probably didn't know one damn thing about it.
No, he was paying $200 for a hand job. Fuck,
yeah,
who cares? I saw that guy that was here last week, Boac, in the program about Crawford. Oh, Bomac. That's Crawford's trainer. Who do you guys think is the best trainer today?
Oh, there's a lot of them.
There's a lot, and people are saying, "Oh, think Robert Garcia," but I, you know what? I think Robert Garcia is obviously
his stable speaks for itself.
You have 30 fighters in the all winners.
McGirt
is really good.
Yes.
You know who else? Kovalev's father. Kovalev's dad, what he does is amazing. There's
the one that picked up what's his name? Picked up Spinks' old trainer. Picked up Broner.
Oh yeah. Kevin Cunningham.
Cunningham.
Bomac is good. Bomac's great. Derek James is great. Yep. There's a lot of them out there.
I thought we already mentioned Bomac though.
No. What about, and then you know somebody they never mentioned? The Big G. G. Oh, you got Joe Goosen.
Well, Big G kind of and Goosen. I think they're fading out of.
Yeah, but Big G is Mikey's trainer, not Robert. You know, people think it's Robert. It's Big G. But then you have like Joe Goosen. People talk a lot of shit, but let me tell you what, Ricky Funes knows his shit, man. Who else was I gonna say too? Fucking Roger. Yeah. Roger's done his thing. Cecilio. There's guys out there that they're good.
Chris Hardy goes, Kelly, look up functional patterns on YouTube. It's a bit tricky when you first start, but it helped me a lot with embracing a new way to train after I quit lifting. Absolutely, I will look at it. But I'm just right now. I think the best is going to go to functional strength training and also doing a lot of agility and stretching and all that. I'm going to keep some of the powerlifting involved. I mean, if I do come back at 200, I'm going to be fighting heavyweights, and some of that strong. Because listen, everybody thinks when you lift heavy, they'll don't. I mean, you have to lift like 3-4 days a week, really, really heavy, and do and even when you don't lift heavy, lift weights, a couple hours a day, almost 5 days a week to get that muscle to be that tight. If you do it just a little bit, you're still keeping the strength, and you're not bulking up, you're not tightening up, you'll be fine.
Esteban, question for both of you. You ever train in heat or cold? Which did you prefer? Know any pros or cons of either? Well, I'm sure we've both trained in both. You've trained in Vegas. I've trained in LA and New Mexico and Texas. There's no pros or cons to it. It's I don't like extreme cold. I don't like training in extreme heat. I've ran in Kuwait before. I've ran in Kuwait for boxing.
Yeah, it all depends on what you like or what you prefer, but I don't believe it has any difference on a training camp.
No.
James Burrell, do you guys know what the punishment is for polygamy, James?
For what?
What is that? Polygamy. Polygamy.
It depends. Do I live in Utah or do I live in Ohio?
He's making a joke.
That's what I'm saying.
Multiple wives.
Yeah, I know it.
That's the punishment. Multiple wives.
That's it is, dude. Right? The real issue.
Yeah, what is that one show with all the
Big Love?
Yeah.
But the real issue with this, if I can't please one woman, how the fuck am I going to please three? If I can't make one happy, how am I going to make three of them happy? You know what I mean? True. Could you imagine getting home and getting bitched at by 3 women instead of 1, Kelly? And not just imagine that. You get bitched at by your daughter, too. And could you imagine getting bitched at by 3 daughters and 3 wives?
You need one of those harems where they're all submissive.
Like a Robert Kraft harem, right? A Robert Kraft harem.
So if you got 3 wives like that and you go out and cheat.
You're not cheating.
No, I mean, not if you bang the other wife. But you go out and bang another woman.
There might be some rules against that.
You just gotta marry her too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so what difference does it make at that point, right?
Right.
So just cover your own back by marrying the other one.
Rocco says, Kelly and James, how has the local gym scene changed since you were young fighters? Oh, man. Rocco says, how's the local gym scene changed since you were young fighters?
Oh, big.
I was about to say, oh, man.
Yeah, drastically. There's not many gyms, and the gyms that you are getting, there's not much coming out of them. It's just not there, and I don't know what it is, but it's really not.
It's not the same. There's not the same dedication with this generation.
I don't hear many of the fighters. I mean, I don't know if some of these trainers are even taking the fighters to national tournaments.
They are. There's some out there who do.
Not in Youngstown.
No. Well, Youngstown is a big talent deficit. It's not what it was at one time, and most of these places are. You got to remember.
I don't know. I can't because we don't know that.
No, but we're at a generation right now.
We will find out soon.
We're at a generation with fighters and trainers as well, where they'd rather look good and lose than look bad and win. I see these trainers in here I see a lot of these trainers. They're so big on looking good. They will sit there and hold mitts, and they want to copy what Roger Mayweather and Floyd Sr. did with Floyd, and they think that's helping their fighter. It might condition a fighter. But there is no fighter that's effective at those 15-punch combinations. It doesn't happen. That's not the way Floyd even hits mitts in real life. Floyd doesn't hit mitts like that. You look like an asshole holding mitts like that. Scott says, Kelly and James, what is the food weakness? Something you can't say no to. Fuck. What is my food weakness?
Pretty much any Italian food for me.
Fuck.
And meats.
Yeah.
Barbecue.
Barbecue, I think, is mine. Barbecue and Chinese food.
Chinese food is good too. Damon goes, Dogbo is rematching Navarrete. Will anything be different in fight 2?
Depends on Dogbo.
I don't see. I mean, he got.
We watched that in person. It was brutal, wasn't it?
Well, it was horrible.
But it depends on Dogbo. If they have a game plan for him. Donovan said, did you ever think about the health risks regarding in-ring deaths, brain bleeding while you were an active fighter, Kelly?
Yeah, all the time.
Why do you think you retired, huh?
Yeah, I mean, that's 100% correct. Andrew Hillburner goes, I'm feeling like the Amir Khan is going to surprise a lot of people in this Crawford fight. Could be. Hey, listen, Khan's a very, very good fighter.
Yes.
The fast. But again, I say this too. You know, I've been going back over it. I even talked with James on this. The more I watch Crawford, though, it's he's a good fighter. Yes. You know, and I said, let me see what happens when he moves up in weight and goes against the welterweights. Not only did he move up against the welterweights, but he's gone up against some of the biggest welterweights too, and beat them and stopped them.
Yeah.
So
I agree. Slavin said that Manfredi did fight for a world title a few times, but he didn't win the world title.
Yeah, he didn't win.
He never won the world title. So that's what we're talking about.
Like, and he got beat by Spadafora.
Spadafora was good. Spadafora dog walked him around the ring for 12 rounds. You know what I mean?
Was another one that somebody put in here about Spadafora versus Mayweather, but
I think Mayweather would still beat him. Max also says Juan Manuel Marquez in his prime gives Lomachenko a good fight. Definitely, I agree. He's probably one of the very few that would. But based on the style, you would have a boring ass fight. 2 counter punchers trying to fight each other. But also, I think that Marquez was kind of a hybrid. I think he fought a little more offensive for a counter puncher. Oh, and Sergio Nacho, right? And Max, Joel Diaz. I like Joel Diaz. I just think he's a little. They're all good. I just think he's real defensive, real offensive. I don't think he puts a lot into a defense. Coaches come in many levels. Many are good in different areas. Right, Delilah. We agree. They were just asking which are the best, and we gave our opinion on who were the best.
Julian Slowwater goes, Mr. Pavlik, Mr. Dominguez. I think Joe Joyce looks sloppy. He beat Severin up, but he looks stiff, really stiff, and his punches are not high level.
Yeah,
it's like he can't throw combos. Man, I'm getting blown up over here.
That's good.
Hector Roman, what you guys think about Triple G being close to the zone deal? They will have some nice middleweight belts on the zone. I think it's great. I truly do. I think that app is amazing. The fights on it, it's good for boxing. A lot of people were saying it wasn't.
I love it.
I think it's great. I think the ESPN Plus is great too.
Philip says the one that gives the boxer the most weapons and have boxed before himself. Philip, you know what? I'm a big proponent on trainers that's boxed before, but not every trainer that's boxed makes them. We were talking about that too this past week. Not every trainer that boxed makes them automatically a good trainer. You can have boxed and if you can't impart the information, you're no good. But then you have trainers that's never boxed that are fucking amazing. We were just talking about Joe Goosen, never boxed.
Yeah.
Nacho didn't box. The Big G never boxed, but these guys, they can impart information. So it's not always about that. It makes a difference, yes. Would I personally rather have a trainer who boxed? Yes, I would. But I don't think that's the end all, be all for trainers.
Hey, listen, guys, on some of these questions, like Chris, I got a couple of years. I want to get some of the other ones that I haven't been getting to. So James Burrell says, I think it's a shame that some people don't appreciate how good Khan is. He only ever lost to top-class fighters. Yeah, James, and he was beating them guys, too. I mean, I don't think there was a fight that Khan was losing. So Michael Cooper goes, Kelly, did you ever spar someone who was great in sparring but never made it big as a pro boxer, or you thought her uncheap? Absolutely. You got some guys that are just professional sparrers.
Fucking Iran?
Iran, you had, I had a guy, Mason, last name Mason.
What about the middleweight?
Pearson. James Pearson. Tall, skinny, unbelievable sparring partner. Fast. They, gave me great work, and then he used to beat the shit out of guys. He would work a little bit with other guys and beat the shit out of them, but couldn't make it as a pro.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know why. I don't know if it was the pressure or he couldn't, make it under the pressure.
Scott, I have a question for you, Kelly.
Yeah.
With the heavy weightlifting, do you think you're sacrificing hand speed?
No, because I'm going to cut that out.
No, he's talking about in general. Heavy weightlifting, do you sacrifice hand speed?
Eventually, yeah, you will. Absolutely. The range of motion and everything, the snap. If you're lifting heavy like a real power lifter, though, I'm not talking about going into the gym and getting on a bench 2 days a week and putting up some heavy weight.
Yeah.
That's not going to affect much.
Philip says, Khan is a great boxer, but can't fight on the inside. I don't know about that. Ask Marcos Maidana if Khan can fight on the inside.
Kelly James. Shannon said Bam Bam was the red corner favorite in TJ. Can you explain the difference between the red corner and blue corner during promotion and negotiations?
It usually goes to the guy the better record or the guy that's better promoted.
Mine was always your option.
You're a champion.
Yeah.
That's usually a champion corner. And normally if you have two champions and you both can't agree, they usually flip a coin for it, or they do all, or they put it. They'll do. You get the red corner, but you'll get announced.
That's
first.
usually what a prize. Okay, like me and Miranda.
Yeah.
That was up in the air. That was a coin toss.
Yeah.
Same thing, like who walks first, who goes second, and usually if you walk first, then in the announcement, the guy who didn't walk first gets announced first.
Well, I know with this Mikey and Errol thing, Errol will probably be in the red corner, but Mikey will get announced last as the champion. That's how they usually, you know what I mean? That's how one gets announced last, the other one gets the red corner. It just, Kelly, what do you think about Johnny Ford from Alliance?
Got some skill. He can fight. We'll see, though. I mean, he's amateur, so.
Donovan Caspas, does the IBO belt hold any recognition within box circles, or just a god-awful looking belt that probably can't hold one's pants
up? I like the IBO belt.
You know, Donovan, what it does is it puts them in the rankings. When you win the IBO championship, it puts you in the top 20 automatically.
IBO's been pretty big for a while, too.
Yeah, and that's what those belts do. USBA, I don't think the NMBF's around anymore, but the USBA and the IBO, those belts will put you in the rankings, and that's why they get them.
Hector Roman goes, Robert Garcia needs to get Brandon and be honest with him about getting out of the fight game.
I'm sure, if I know Robert like I think is, Robert's one thing he is always honest.
I think Robert actually did that once before, too.
Yeah. Slavin, the big G is Robert Garcia's father, Eduardo Garcia. He was Fernando Vargas' trainer, and he's also Mikey's trainer.
Chris Hardy goes, you always had great timing, Kelly. I think you would be able to compensate any lack of snap with that alone. Yes, and believe me, the snap again, it will be back. Football 21. What is your opinion? The reason Tyson Fury signed with Top Rank? For me, Fury is still the top dog at heavyweight, but it complicates matters now to make Wilder or Joshua fights. Yeah, does it not? No, I don't think so. Again, Top Rank will work hand in hand with other promoters. They've done it before, and if there's enough demand for the fight, they will make it happen.
Amanda said, "Can you please get to the point? This video taking too long. No offense, Amanda Nichols. This is a show. Calm's Robin Peterson fight. Multiple points were taken from.
Ask her what point she's looking for.
I don't know what point she's looking for. She just wants to bitch.
Kelly Paddock, what venue did you always want to fight in but never got the chance? Madison Square Garden.
I bet that's an awesome place. Yeah, we did.
Come on, Damon.
Slavin says Vegas is a bad boxing town. If you aren't from Europe or anywhere else in USA, Slavin, I'm not gonna point any elbows, but Europe is not the best place for American to fight. You go to Germany, you have to kill somebody to win to keep your title there. They will rob the shit out of you in Europe.
Carry him out of ring in a stretcher, but I still believe that if you go out in a stretcher, you still have a good chance of winning because you're alive.
Amanda says, get to the point, please. Some of us have responsibility in life and can't afford, she spelled afford wrong, to watch long videos with not getting to the point. I can't watch every stream on my newsfeed all day.
Why does she even take the time to log in?
Watch it. I don't know. Somebody needs to pour her another glass of bitch.
Oh, be nice. Hey, thanks for stopping in, though, Amanda. We appreciate it.
I fucking hate retards. No offense to real retards. I don't mean it. I don't mean it that way. I mean somebody that just gets on. You know what? I don't mean it that way.
I thank Amanda for watching.
No,
the show,
I don't thank her. Fuck her.
Why?
Fuck her. I don't thank her. She's on here just to bitch and talk shit.
Maybe not.
We've never had a female troll before.
No, maybe she's trying to learn. Though maybe she's trying to learn the show.
What's she trying to learn? If she would listen and stop bitching, she would learn about the show or learn about the fights, the boxing. We don't have a point because everybody's asking different questions.
I like feeding him. I like feeding the anger.
Feeding the anger? I'm not angry. I'm saying, look, first of all, let me say this. She must have thought it was something about boxing. Yeah, I know. When it was a punchline, she thought it was a joke show, comedy show. No, but
I'm waiting for somebody to set James up with fighting.
Set me up a fight?
Throw another name out.
Well, let's answer this one before you keep going on to her. Kevin goes, hey, Kelly, did you see that Andres Fonfera retired? He had a fight scheduled and retired.
Yes.
Teofimo versus Loma early next year. What do you guys think? Hector, we talked about that. Maybe Teofimo will be ready. If he gets, I think you have to get a big fight coming up, though. Somebody else that could get him ready for Loma. I'd hate to see, the reason why I say Teofimo is a hell of a fighter, but I hate to see him jump in.
I'm going to go to hell. I was going to say next. No, you're good.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was not going to talk about.
You got people are waiting for you to do it, though.
To do what?
They said be politically correct, and even the one guy said be not politically correct.
All I was going to say is I hope Amanda Nichols' horse fucks her, the one that's in the picture.
You got to bring the bestiality into this shit.
Was it bestiality or was it a date?
I'm glad she tuned in.
I'm not. I hate that shit. Oh, all of us live our life. No,
James,
if you're on Facebook, you don't have a life to live. Real people's lives don't get on Facebook. And I'm going to say that because I spend about, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours a day on there.
About 20.
You shut your mouth. You're supposed to be on my side.
I see James one time in New York wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get on his Facebook. He had a time.
I have memes to put up.
There's nothing wrong with the memes.
You know what? I apologize, man. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be so
James
mean.
Burrell says, see, man, this is what happens. We got like real true fans, though, and I can't defend you on this one. But James says, Burrell, get Amanda a box of Midol and tell her to shut it, James. Ooh.
Send that man a t-shirt.
Yeah. Does anyone care about Darrell winning his 168 WBC strap?
I do. I like Darrell. I like both the brothers. The fight was sloppy to me.
I thought so.
But I thought the right guy got the right decision.
Okay, why isn't Hector Ramon? Why isn't anyone getting on Leo Santa Cruz to fight Gary Russell Jr.? I think Russell gets him. Leo is getting a pass, and nobody is demanding that fight with them both.
Who has that?
Hector.
What do you say about Leo?
Santa Cruz. Why is anyone getting on Leo Santa Cruz to fight Gary Russell? I believe that he was going to fight him, and Gary Russell
backed out of the fight.
Or backed out. Hector, that's because that was the disagreement me and James had in that fight. James likes Santa Cruz. I like Gary Russell,
and not because he's Mexican.
And it's a fight that we really were banging.
We still are.
We still are. So we're hoping that fight is made, but it's not Santa Cruz's fault on that one.
Yeah. Philip Mitchell says, if some old school fighter trainer showed Khan how to fight like an American fighter, using maximum leverage mixed with British boxing, he needs to know. Philip, I understand what you're saying, but I think the thing is he's too far in his career and he's too damn old. You're not going to change him now. He fights the way he fights. You just can't change him. You would have to tear him down, and it would take 2 years to get him where he needs to be.
So, what's up, Bobby? I seen Bobby said hi. SY, actually, me and James both did it. I've done it a lot more than James, but he even came with me one time. SY goes, did you ever try cryotherapy? Helps with soreness from personal experience. James, you're a blunt, no bullshit.
Who said that?
SY.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love the cryotherapy.
I do too.
The only thing is, the only thing around here is there's not one real close to Youngstown, so it's about an hour drive. And I think that cryotherapy would definitely work very well if I was able to get there like 3 days a week.
It's far. It's like an hour away.
It is. So that's the only thing.
Amanda said, this is a bit boring. We're not offended. You know what? It's not for everybody, Amanda. It really isn't. I'm not being mean. The show is not for everybody. And like I said, it's boxing. I mean, a lot of boring shit goes on. And, but, you know what? Bring up a topic and we'll talk about it. Because we'll talk about anything. We don't just talk boxing. We'll talk anything.
Amanda, bring up she got off, man. You ran her off.
Good.
Hey, Frank V, best burger in Youngstown. Holy crap.
Coaches.
We got some. Coaches is good. Bogies.
I never had Bogies.
Bogies is like.
Shots. Shots is good burgers too.
I have never had their burgers.
No, Shots. The burgers are like $2.50. Those fries on Wednesdays.
I'll tell you what, that Homestead rate, it's not Youngstown, but it's close enough. Homestead got a really good burger. Coach, I said,
That Homestead here?
Buffalo.
That Buffalo Burger was on point.
That bacon was thick.
Yeah, it was. It was good.
Bogies. Oh, I'll tell you where else. The Federal.
That's too expensive.
Downtown?
For me, that's too expensive.
Not really. They got good burgers, man. My boys Joey and Dan Martini.
I seen the bar thing on that show.
Yeah.
I'm afraid to go in there now.
Nah, they're cool, man. Those are my homies.
I know.
That's why I'm not just saying their food is good because of that.
Dan says, so is the rumor true, Kelly? Yes. Robert Kraft did jack Kelly off. Yes. It's true. He paid him. I seen it.
But every time my underwear touches my schlong, it hurts because all those rings.
Oh, yeah. Donovan says,
Throw all the bark off my wings.
Donovan said, now the question about Darrell is, he has a title and so does Cava Plant. Does that mean the PBC might put them against each other in 2 years? I don't, Donovan, I wouldn't wait that long. Darrell's not getting any younger. But
Sewer Rat says, it won't happen, but what about Oscar Valdez versus Leo Santa Cruz? Great fight.
I think Leo's moving up.
Yeah, and if that fight was, I'd have to go with Santa Cruz.
I'd have to, Oscar Valdez has all the talent in the world. He just doesn't impress me. His last fight, he looked awful, and he looked awful the fight before. He's just not like that good.
Kevin said, Amanda's trolling James.
Oh, yeah, she is. That's okay.
And he said at the bottom,
that's why I hope
attack.
That's why I hope her horse fucks her. What's up? Good show, guys. Have we seen the last of Brandon Rios? Benjamin, I hope so. I hope that Brandon goes into coaching or training. I think that's what he's really good at. And I hate to see somebody I really care about, hurt,
Brandon's a great dude. And a great career he had.
Yes.
Or has, this going. So I like to see him get out and keep where he's at now.
And people are saying, "Oh, Brandon fights. He must be broke." That's the first thing that people go to in a fighter.
They always do.
And you know what? Brandon's fine. Brandon is one of those guys. Puts his money away. He's just one of those guys. I'm not going to talk about mass pocket, but everybody says that. Kelly, you don't want to come back. No, people come back because when you are a competitor in any sport, you want to keep competing. It's ingrained in you. You just don't want to stop like that. Dr. Rodney says the horse deserves better. Dr. Rod. Hey, you got to go, Dr. Rod.
What if that, if you're talking anal too on that?
Yeah. Let me tell you what, guys.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, you should. Dr. Rodney does not sponsor the show, but I'm going to tell you what, he's the best fucking chiropractor out there.
Is that the guy in Columbus?
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes. He does. He even does, stem cell. He does stem cell replacement in the knees and the elbows and the
Ask
neck.
him if he can inbox me. Hey, Doc, can you inbox me?
Doc, can you inbox Kelly about some stem cell stuff? Definitely, if you guys are in Pickerington, Ohio and Columbus, Ohio, go see Dr. Rodney. He'll get you on point.
All right. Chris Hardy goes, did you not ever consider moving to California after you retired? I lived in Orange County for 15 years, and the weather is hard to beat. I pretty much lived there for a little while, right in Oxnard. My thing is this, though.
Expand.
Earthquakes, wildfires.
Expensive.
And if I'm going to go there, it's not that warm. I'm sorry. It's obviously warmer than Ohio in the wintertime, but, come summertime, it gets nicer. If I moved anywhere, man, I would probably go out past California and go to Hawaii. Hawaii was beautiful. I loved it. Florida, I'm not a big fan of Florida either, but I would probably go there before California. But I do like California.
Okay, I got one for you. New York City or California?
Oh, California.
Oh, definitely.
California.
Would you live in New York City before LA?
Fuck yeah.
Why?
Because I'm a fucking Republican.
New York City is not the most conservative place either.
Way better than fucking LA.
I don't even get involved in that shit. I just go out there to live because and I would live close to the beach. I would live
I think I'm the only liberal on the show.
Outside of Malibu.
Didn't say I was a Trump fan, but
I would move to the water.
I would go back to Oxnard or either
Downey. Oxnard's close
I would
enough.
go to Downey. I would go back home around that area, but I don't know. But hey,
although the water is even cold in the summertime though out there.
Any more questions? You got anything going on? I think we're down there. We broke the question barrier.
Julian Stillwater Banks goes, yeah, we got a couple more questions we're going to answer. Question
you're
is
talking about a horse fucking someone. I guess
please,
all the questions
Amanda,
are done.
what is your favorite Friends episode?
Amanda?
That's what Julian said to her.
Oh, my favorite Friend episode is when...
No, he said that to Amanda.
Yeah, my favorite is when Joey fucked the horse.
Chris Hardy, I am from England. Anywhere is warmer than here. Yeah.
We're going there. Did you say that? We're planning a trip.
I do want to go there.
We're planning a trip out there.
Chris, try to find a good place, man. Where,
is that like, Chris Eddy?
No, this is Chris Hardy.
Okay.
Chris Hardy, try to find a good place where we could do like a remote show. I got our big boxing fans and stuff like that, bro. And inbox me or something.
Yeah, we are planning.
I can't get to the YouTube.
Are you going to go with us to England? We're planning a trip going to England.
My uncle's the only American buried in England's national cemetery, like our Arlington.
Wow, really? Yeah. He served in the British Army?
No, he served and he married a British woman and he had dual citizenship, but it was Desert Storm.
Oh, okay.
He was a naval aviator.
Wow.
We went down there in an exercise.
Damn.
They buried him in their national cemetery.
That's pretty bad.
Is that where he wanted to be buried, or?
Slavin said, "What's up, Mac?" Slavin said, "What music do you listen to before a fight, Kelly?"
He said, "Come to Birmingham." That's what Chris Hardy said. Come to Birmingham. It really didn't matter. Rock, it could have been rap. It didn't matter to me. I didn't listen to much music before, even in training. I came out to Corn because you guys got to understand. Most of the time, you only had a couple seconds to really get the crowd going. So from the walkway to the ring, you had that little bit of time, and the songs that I picked usually had a big oomph at the beginning of it.
Corn's your buddy anyway.
So we used that, and that kind of got everybody going, and that became the tune.
Bucky says, "Good show, nice dude, James. Thank you so much." Mac Ty says, "Club of Lane." Do you? It kept growing too fast. This is the second cut in 2 weeks.
It definitely looks Spanish.
Does it?
Yeah. It does.
I didn't want it. If I didn't comb it, it looked like a pineapple. Hair would stick up like this, like a pineapple. I look like SpongeBob. I look like SpongeBob's house. Go to Great Bristol. Great boxing. I wanted to go to Manchester. That's where I wanted to go, and like those kind of places because I'm a big history buff too.
Yeah, Chris, how far is Birmingham from?
Birmingham too.
That's where he said to go. Come to Birmingham.
Oh, we got to go Peaky Blinders stuff.
Where's that at? What city is that in?
All over. I guess they're all over in the show. They have a lot of stuff to say travel.
Yeah, I like the show.
Kevin goes, speaking of England, Callum Smith is the real deal.
What channel is Pinky? Is it AMC, right?
No, that was a Netflix original.
Yeah. Northern Alberta's cold as fuck, -30. Here in England, not bad at all. Yeah, Alberta is pretty cold. But yeah, guys, what do you think?
You always got something to say that is not boxing related. I like that.
I like that. Stay doing that.
All right, we got one more. Joey goes, Joe Joyce versus Charles Martin. What do you two think?
I would take Joyce. Charles Martin is fucking lazy.
Regarding the British heavyweight other than AJ Fury and White, what do you guys think of the younger ones like Yardy and Du Bois?
I want to see more of them.
Exactly.
I need to see more. So are you guys going to fight soon? At 39, I've been thinking about competing as an amateur. Mac, no, I am 41 years old and I had a long, lengthy amateur career, over 150 fights, and I don't think I ever want to fight again.
He just fights with people on the show.
I tell people to fuck horses. That's way better.
That is.
No, I don't have any what's that called? Any desire to fight again. I'll spar. I like to spar and train, but I don't want to fight. I don't want to compete. Kelly has different aspirations. I mean, Kelly is a former world champion. He can still fight. But at 39 years old, Mac, if I were you, I would keep coaching, buddy.
Yep.
39 is a little old to start.
All right, Chris, I appreciate that. All right, well, guys, we're going to wrap it up. I thought it was a great show.
Bobby says, I fight on Facebook. No, Bobby, you instigate fights on Facebook. You bring people on there.
Oh, it was one time. Bobby's cool.
No, he's just talking shit. That's what he gets.
Bobby's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool.
He put a nice post up with me.
I know, and then he had that crybaby on there, Curtis.
Yeah. Curtis came on.
I bet he didn't even unfriend Curtis though. How much you want to bet he's still his friend on Facebook? Don't. How much you want to bet he's still his friend on Facebook?
Bobby unfriend. Delete him.
That's the Youngstown way.
Delete him, Bobby.
That's the Youngstown way.
Hurry up.
Let somebody run you under the bus and still keep him as a friend on Facebook.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Scott. Hey, guys, great show.
Officer, we appreciate it.
Appreciate all the questions and everything. If you like the show, what do they got to do, Kelly?
Subscribe.
Like.
I'm gonna take yours. Ring the bell.
And share.
Mainly subscribe.
No, mainly ring the bell.
Subscribe.
Right, ring the bell.
Hey, but all kidding aside, guys, thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you guys and your questions, and we will see you guys next week.
Former world champion Terry Moss is watching.
Hi, Terry.
Hi, Terry. Yeah, and we will see you guys next Sunday with something more to talk about. And hey, what do you think of Ryan Garcia? I think he's hyped. I think he's pretty good. All right, guys.
Bye.